But you're right, it was a hard-hitting game, and I know we prepared for their premier back, but that second back, we didn't have an answer for him.
Yeah, that's right. That's really the first significant action he's had this year. He's been nursing some injuries, and he was full go Friday night, I'm gonna guarantee you. And to me, the way their uniforms are, it's sort of hard to tell the numbers, and I couldn't tell much of a difference between the two, honestly. They're really blessed to have two great backs, and hey, we're blessed to have a couple of ourselves, and they both played well. And like I said, I'm proud of our effort, but make no mistake, we don't take pats on the back for losing a football game around here. I mean, we go into those games expecting to win, and we need a week of practice this week, and work harder this week, and clean up some little things to have a chance against a really fine Athens team.
Okay. Well, let's get on into the first quarter and watch the Bearcats. Another hot night. Boy, I'm telling you, we're going to get some relief one of these days, but it didn't happen last Friday night.
Tell me when.
Yeah, no kidding. It was homecoming, and you have to deal with that all week.
Well, I'll say this about that. This was probably the best practice I've been around during a homecoming week. It was really, the kids really showed a whole lot of maturity. I'm really proud of them for being able to focus on the game.
But really kudos to all those involved with the homecoming court, and I know it was a busy week for everybody, so we're glad to get through Friday night.
It's something that's rare has happened here. We put in a new little toss play that worked really well for us the rest of the game, but it's a little closer, a little different speed on the pitch, and we turn it over, and that's one of those things. We've been winning the turnover battle, and man, that's a tough place to start right here. But despite that, we come in, we're making tackles, playing hard. They do end up taking this in, but you can see we're getting after it, and getting 11 black shirts around the ball is a good thing. And you see the kind of power that this back has. I mean, he is a strong kid. Yeah. He looks like a Mark Ingram or a Trent Richardson. That's it's the Alabama type of back, which is where he's committed to.
But that's certainly not the way you want to start a game with a fumble and letting them drive down the field. But Cullman's going to respond.
Right. The object is that, we want to take the ball and run time off the clock and establish first downs and keep those guys off the field. But their strength and speed, obviously you can't stimulate it in practice, even be close. And to come out here, trying to throw the ball a little bit, and we got a holding call on our receiver. Great comeback route, something we put in this week. Coach Campbell coaching the receivers, did a great job getting Isaiah ready for that, and we're continue to get the ball to him. Here's a rocket toss, and you see, Jaden Sullivan's making guys miss, and that's why he's going to have an opportunity to play on the next level. Here we go. We're getting the trap going, and to respond like we did, get first downs. The obvious play we fumbled on earlier. It's great to come back and run it effectively, and we've got a series of plays that we're going to run, and we're not going to give up on them just because one may go bad. We tried to freeze them, get them to jump off sides, and we ended up jumping off sides ourselves when we didn't really have a play call, and that's something we got to do a better job of. But man, I'm proud of Brody Adams coming in and hitting that field goal, and hey, we're in the game.
That's right.
It's over halfway through the first quarter, and didn't mean to kick it to the front line guy, but gave them a little bit too good a field position. We got to do a better job on a roll tackle there. We can't be diving on the ground. We have to run and get the shoulder into the leg. And again, trying to get those guys started if they get too much steam going. I mean, just outstanding backs. You can see us getting into the legs, tackling. They put Roy Dell at quarterback a lot, and the guy's incredible. I think he can squat 600 pounds. I mean, he's a gifted young man. Great throw and catch. I thought Hueytown's quarterback was exceptionally accurate and sharp, and that's why they're going to be a contender in 6A.
They've got a great offensive line.
And their receiving core, and those guys they're big. Coach Mansell lifts a lot of weights himself, and he's got that program rolling over there. Yeah. I don't know that I've ever seen a better takeaway right here than Matt Brock had on this. I mean, that's a guy that's going to be playing on Sundays one day, and Matt absolutely dove in the air and took the ball away from him. And that is just an incredible play on any level. And man, did we need that. So now our turnover margin, we're back even. And That was a huge play to keep us in the game. And then, you know, we're on the 1 foot line and getting first downs.
Yes.
And so, man, you know, we're playing hard, and like I said, we evened out the turnovers right there, and that gives us a chance to, you know, to be in the ball game.
And that's a big stop. Even though you ended up on the 1 yard line, you're able to punch out a first down. But I know you're glad to be in a 7-3 ball game with Utah after the first quarter. Yeah,
absolutely. We're proud of where we are, but like I said, we're going to try to win this football game.
Okay. Well, we're going to take a commercial break. This is the Cullman Football Review, brought to you by Citizens Bank and Trust, Target Pest Control, Cullman Power Board, and Bill Smith at GMC and Buick. And we'll be back for the second quarter after a commercial break.
With your Citizens Bank and Trust digital wallet, your busy life just got a lot less complicated. As a community bank, we know our customers. They're our neighbors and friends, and we know your banking needs. It's easy to use. Simply hold your phone up to the terminal at checkout. It's right there when you need it. No more searching for your cards. Citizens Bank and Trust. Small bank, big difference. Member FDIC. Third-party fees for data, messaging, and internet may apply.
Of the many forces of nature that threaten our homes, one of the most menacing strikes without warning. Sound or fury. They're termites, and they cause billions in damage homeowners insurance won't cover. Fortunately, Termidor protects before termites become a problem, because there's no forecasting when termites will strike.
Call Target Pest Control for a free termite inspection of your home. We aim to please.
First 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
And welcome back to the Cullman Football Review. This is brought to you by Bill Smith GMC Buick, also Citizens Bank and Trust, Target Pest Control, the Cullman Power Board. But I know you're tickled to, after you punch it out, at least get a first down after the turnover. That was big, to not be having back up to punt.
That's right. Yeah, you know, to get it out of the end zone is just a credit, and you know, our offensive line's playing better, and you know, our backs are running hard, knowing where the holes are. Our receivers are blocking hard,
right.
And you know, and I think our offensive staff, you know, Coach Hannon and Coach Hackbarth, Coach Campbell and Coach Saints, just, you know, we've gotten better every week. And like I said, as a coach, that's all you can ask for, just steady improvement.
And I think the offensive line, probably on the whole, has made more improvement from where they were the first game till now than any other section of your football team.
I would agree wholeheartedly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, let's get on into the second quarter and see what the Bearcats can do after they got their first down.
And again, we started on the 1 foot line, and man, it's just like you draw it up. You know, hit this play called the cross, and you know, when people play a 1 and a 5, that's what's open. We fold the wing inside, and you can see the kind of speed Jalen Huey has. He really runs faster, I think, on the football field, and he sometimes shows in the 40 or so. He's putting distance. That's, you know, every game he's had long runs. He's put distance between the people pursuing him. And
well, when you got to the 40 or 50, you thought that one back may run him down, and then by the end he got to the end zone, he had actually gained some more yardage on him.
There's a throwback here to Coach Bates. We used to run a lot of middle onside when he was here, and got Coach to come speak to the team. And man, it was wide open, and what a great play. I mean, we really hadn't worked on it a whole lot, but, man, Brody Adams just executed that to perfection and caught them by surprise. We got the momentum, and, man, we're ahead. And, they haven't been behind all year long. So it's, we try to catch them on a pass, a lot of times trying to take that shot after a big turnover, and didn't work out so well for us, didn't protect very well. But, we come back, run the toss, and Jaden Sullins, you see hitting it up in there and getting the first down. Man, we got to do a better job protecting our running backs right there. It's our fault for as coaches. We're not getting these guys prepared enough sometimes in protection. That was a fourth down, and
going back to Jaden, he made an excellent. You can see his improvement.
Absolutely.
Turning back, cutting that hole.
What a great effort by Alex Shepard right there. He's running down a Division I running back from behind and grabs him by the ankles and brings him down. And Alex just plays so hard, and he's matured a whole lot, and we still got some growth to do in that areas, but really proud of how he plays on Friday nights.
Quarterback makes another great
throw. And, man, you just see the strength of this guy. Any other game this year, I mean, we have two Bearcat defenders hitting him at the same time, and he just he bounced off him, adjusted his face mask, and then sprints to the end zone, and that's why he's a SEC caliber running back. But in all honesty, I mean, one of our tacklers hit our guy more so than the back, and we just got to use the techniques that we're taught. Our defensive staff, we spend a lot of time on tackling every day. It's a fundamental, and we had more against this team. Of course, when you play really good athletes, it happens sometimes. But really, it was a great run. But in fairness, we a little bit better technique, and that's a stop. So we really try to avoid giving up explosive touchdowns. That's one of our keys to winning, and unfortunately, we gave up one there. Come back, run the ball, and again, if we can grind it out and get first downs and those type things, flip the field position, we feel pretty good about things. Tanner Heatherly comes in, punts, and Coach Morris does a great job with their special teams. And it's a really good punt. They don't give them a chance to return it, and then we flip the field position. And once again, you see the kind of accuracy that quarterback has. I mean, it's hard to defend when he's hot like that, and throwing a couple of out routes. Those are big league throws.
And that opens up the running game when he can do that. Right,
hitting the window. You see Cody Lynn just sprinting downfield. Cody's our most consistent defensive lineman, and, man, really proud of the maturity that he's shown. There's Alex Shepard rushing hard. We got to make sure we pick up that route that threatens the middle right there.
And the pressure made that play.
And no doubt. And that's a good hit over here. Our secondary, I'd stack them up as far as how well they're coached with anybody. Coach Walker just does a phenomenal job and brings a lot of experience to them. We're still getting after it. We gave up the big play. We're coming back. We're still fighting, and that's big. Sometimes teams get demoralized and think, man, we can't tackle this guy, and we came right back on the field. And right here, really the only chance they have, to get the ball back before halftime is for us to fumble the return. That's why we didn't put a returner back. But I was very much disagreed with the call right there. I felt like they didn't control the ball before it crossed in the end zone, and I think it was I kind of let the officials know I didn't like it, but they were solid in that they said they had two to make the call, but one thing good, we snap it under center and quarterback sneak. It's not a real issue to us. Some teams that don't ever take a snap under center, they might have problems if they got to be in the shotgun and they're in the end zone.
And I know we really can't criticize the officials.
No, they do a super job. They really do.
That's the first time I'd really seen you agitated this year, and
I do a good job hiding it. I'm more subtle in my.
But I was having those thoughts. I didn't get to express it up because my understanding it should have been a touchback.
If it breaks the plane, it is a touchback in high school.
And they certainly did not gain control over it. But that's neither here nor there. That
it didn't cost us the ball game.
It didn't cost the ball game.
We went into halftime in good shape.
Well, we're still in good shape here as we go into halftime, but we're going to take a commercial break and be back with the halftime show and the band. But this is the Cullman Football Review brought to you by Bill Smith GMC, also Citizens Bank and Trust, Target Pest Control, and Cullman Power Board. And we'll be back after halftime.
At Citizens Bank and Trust, your security is our top priority. Online statements eliminate the risk of your financial information getting lost in the mail. The statement can be viewed online at home or on the go, and you'll receive your statements faster each month. Plus, signing up is easy. At Citizens Bank and Trust, your security is our priority. Citizens Bank and Trust. Small bank, big difference. Member FDIC. Third-party fees for internet messaging and data may apply.
The world's first 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
Of the many forces of nature that threaten our homes, one of the most menacing strikes without warning. Sound or fury. They're termites, and they cause billions in damage homeowners insurance won't cover. Fortunately, Termador protects before termites become a problem. Because there's no forecasting when termites will strike.
Call Target Pest Control for a free termite inspection of your home. We aim to please.
The color guard captain is Grace Ryan. The dance line captain is Sheldon Martin. The head majorettes are Peyton Hightower and Maddie Martinez. The band is under the field command of drum major Bailey Grace Smith. Ladies and gentlemen, the Cullman High School Bearcat Marching Band.
Yes.
Tonight's soloists are Will Baker on the trumpet, Pete Cordes on the trumpet, A.J. Woods on the trumpet, and Bailey Gray on the trombone. Band Boosters president is Leanna Smith, and the band president is Tessa Adams. Have a safe trip home. And remember, tomorrow night is the Cullman County Band.
And welcome back to the Cullman Football Review. I'm here with Coach Oscar Glasscock, and we're taking a look at last Friday night's game with Hueytown, one of the top-ranked 6A schools in the state, featuring two college-level commitments. And boy, we're going to see the no-name this half really just almost impossible to tackle when he gets out on the corner. But what adjustments did you try to make there at halftime, Oscar?
Well, there's, like I said, with the halftime, most of the time you're going over things with that you've gone over during the week. You're not reinventing things or drawing a bunch of new things up. It's normally, hey, this is why we have to do this, and this is why, And the main thing is just to keep playing hard. Do what your coach do. Focus on your job. Don't worry about the situations in the game. Take it one play at a time. And really that's the standard we try to play to. It doesn't matter the opponent, but it's especially critical when you're playing, big-time talent like Hueytown has.
And when you got the guys on the field in the heat, as oppressive as it is, and I know you say one game's no bigger than the other, but these kids understand who Hueytown was when they came in. And
there's no doubt.
They're giving every extra effort they've got, and it begins to wear when you're trying to bring down those big backs, and they're hitting you with the precision passing.
And we try to do the same thing to other people.
Right.
I mean, it's a different scheme, but it's really the same philosophy.
Right.
Coach Mansell and I have a lot of similarities in how we approach handling kids and the way we do schemes and how we coach football. And I thought you saw two teams that I feel like one was more talented, but I felt like you saw is almost like looking in the mirror at Big Brother in a way. So.
Well, let's get on in and look at the footage here in the third quarter. And we're kicking off to them.
Yeah, much better job on the squib kick. Those things are hard to handle. I think Brody does just a variety of things well, and that is such a luxury to have. And here you go. They're getting a surge right here. Again, I think they're coming out in the third quarter. We're sometimes recently it seemed like we've gotten it corrected. We had a little bit of a lull defensively, and there you see the referee got ran over, and there was a long delay in the game right there. And man, thank goodness he was okay. Can't leave her feet right there, but again, you see how powerful those young men are, and that's just like I said, just extremely strong football team. I mean, you can tell they've been in the weight room their whole high school career, and really, Coach Mansell is a weightlifter, and I think he benches over 450 pounds himself, and I know Coach Patterson can really throw the weight up too. I mean, and when you say they're one of the strongest staffs in 6A, I'm talking about in the weight room too.
Well, that's the other back right there.
That's right.
I mean, he's almost impossible to get down if he gets past the linebackers.
So, we kind of got down right here, and they came out really executing, running powerfully. We got us on our heels a little bit, but again, I'm just proud of our kids for kind of digging in, making some plays. Like I said, we just didn't came out with the same kind of energy we probably did at the beginning of the game, and taking a shot to Isaiah. And then like I said, we're going to do more and more of that and we really meant to do it more in that game. It's just. And, oh, man, we just almost execute that. And that was going to be a huge play in the game right there if we hit that pass. But unfortunately, we didn't connect, and, we turned the ball over here. But we come back and really start playing hard on defense, and we just got to avoid these little ebb and flows. And, again, you see Alex Shepard, just the effort he plays with and clipping those guys by the heels. And I tell you, it doesn't matter how big and strong you are if you get them wrapped up down there, they're going to stop. They're going to go down. So it's, again, great effort, just relentless pursuit, by the football. We work hard on pursuit and try and throw a little screen pass, and you see how talented these guys are. But again, just great tackling by guys that, like I said, especially Roy Dell. I mean, he's got the ability to be a high draft pick one day if he keeps working. great throw and catch by them, and we're in a little bit of a nickel package there, and man, they just executed that like you're supposed to, and again, you can see the quarterback's a talented young man and getting better every week. And
we got the official again, and he came back a little quicker this time than he did the time before. He took a beating.
He did. It was, we were there. You see just the power going, and see what kind of talent they have. But they're having to earn it. They're having to make plays. It's not just 50, 60-yard touchdowns untouched, or we're trying as hard as we can to hit them and tackle them and use good form. And here we come back, and we're going to keep doing what we do. And man, what a great play! I feel like Jaden showed a gear that I haven't seen this year. He's feeling good and gets in that end zone. I think he's tired of Max always scoring on those quarterback sneaks. He can go ahead and get in. Just great, just a great job our offensive staff sticking to what we do, not panicking. We've got some explosive players ourselves, and we take that in. And like I said, if we'd hit that pass earlier, and then it's a little bit more of a back and forth deal. And look, we're trying to win the football game, and man, you see us flying down again, Alex Shepard flying down, hitting the guy, and they're strong, and you can just see saw Alex walking by, that receiver is about a foot taller than him.
Oh yeah, we were giving up size out there on the corners.
Yeah, no doubt. We're going to continue to play hard.
Well, we're down 27-9, and like you say, a pivotal play was the pass play down there on the goal line, but we come back and Jaden does a 60-something 3-yard up.
The scores actually hadn't been put up after Jaden's touchdown, so it was we were within striking distance. There's no question about it. So proud of the kids for their fight and their effort, and like I said, we'll keep lifting hard and keep practicing hard and things like that, and we're going to get wins in those type of games, hopefully.
Well, we're going to take a commercial break. This is the Cullman Football Review brought to you by the Cullman Power Board, Target Pest Control, Citizens Bank and Trust, and also Bill Smith GMC and Buick. And we'll be back with the fourth quarter here shortly.
Six-function multi-pro tailgate, available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
Of the many forces of nature that threaten our homes, one of the most menacing strikes without warning. Sound or fury. They're termites, and they cause billions in damage homeowners insurance won't cover. Fortunately, Termador protects before termites become a problem, because there's no forecasting when termites will strike.
Call Target Pest Control for a free termite inspection of your home. We aim to please.
With your Citizens Bank and Trust digital wallet, your busy life just got a lot less complicated. As a community bank, we know our customers. They're our neighbors and friends, and we know your banking needs. It's easy to use. Simply hold your phone up to the terminal at checkout. It's right there when you need it. No more searching for your cards. Citizens Bank and Trust. Small bank, big difference. Member FDIC. Third-party fees for data, messaging, and internet may apply.
Welcome back to the Cullman Football Review. I'm Hugh Harris, and I'm here with Coach Oscar Glasscock. Shout out especially to our sponsors for bringing the Cullman Football Review to you each and every week. But we're down here in the fourth quarter, but the Cullman Bearcats are going to put every ounce they've got left in trying to make a comeback.
That's right, and you can tell it's a hard-hitting, hard-fought, energy-draining game. Monday we were still recovering. A lot of times these games will linger into Monday as far as how you recover, especially in the heat and the conditions of a Friday night.
Yeah, it's just amazing with the heat we've had this fall that we've got anybody surviving to come back the next week.
It's taking a toll, I'm going to promise you,
Sure.
but we do everything we can to hydrate and rest these kids, and you know, it's something everybody's dealing with this year. It's just one of those years.
Right. And we're going to move on into the fourth quarter. I know you need to get out to practice, but the Bearcats will be right here as we get into the fourth quarter.
Well, that's what we expect around here. I mean, that's the way people have played here for a long, long time. But again, you can see kind of athleticism. You know, a lot of missed tackles or that we would have made maybe in some of the other games were due to their strength and their athleticism, and also how well coached they are. And
you just got to understand, if you know the game of football, where you're putting it all on the line to stop their big backs, you know, those kids and cornerbacks and safety, they're really out there just really doing the best they can.
That's right.
And when you got a high school team that can throw the ball as well as they do and run it, it's hard to defend.
Huge deal right there, making a 2-point play stop. I mean, it's just, you know, what great effort. You know, you give up a touchdown, but it's like we talk about it. It's stone cold business. You can't let anything in the game phase you, and success or failure, you have a standard that you try to play to every play. We're still running the ball, and like I said, we have some athleticism and some strength ourselves, and they're getting a little bit of dose of it too, and you know, really proud of our offensive line. Really dug in right here and coming off the football, and you know, we're still going to do what we do. You see Jake Doodle. We got to get. Jake's been really helping us a lot on defense. We've had some injuries to overcome, and I think we're about to get some guys back. And you know, long yard situation, trying a little double pass here, you know, or not double pass, but what we call the buck pass, and they just had a hard time executing it because of the penetration. See some guys, Jay Knopp and Lane Dial. We rotate as many guys as we can out here and do a good job spilling their second level block. And again, Alex Shepard making a tackle. Thought Alex had a huge game and forced them to punt. You know, and it's not like they've just made wholesale substitutions. I mean,
no, they're still playing their guys.
That's right. They called a little interference on the catch right there. And you have to allow the guy to catch the football. So. And again, I thought, except for one call, I thought the officials did an excellent job. I think, you know, Brandon Shields just puts a great crew together, and just, as I've said in the past.
But we're still hitting it hard and going after it.
That's right, running across, and I guarantee you that Jalen's a little sore on Monday still, and man, you just see that guy's fighting for yardage, and like I said, great sportsmanship here, and just really proud of the job Coach Mansell's done there over the year last year, and you can tell by the way their team plays. You know, Coach Greg Patterson that's taken over there is a class act. We coached against him a little bit when he was at Summerton Christian back in the day, and just what a great person he is. And you know, just hats off to a fine Hueytown team. I mean, they're undefeated. I think, you know, the 3 teams we've lost to this year are a combined, I think, 14-2. I mean, we've played some outstanding opponents, and man, we've got our work cut out for us this Friday. I mean, we're back in the region, and we'll go up and play an Athens team that's just rolling. You know, Cody, you know, quarterback 3 national championships at UNA, and he's just doing a fantastic job up there, and it's going to be a tremendous challenge again this week.
I know for a period of time we thought when we got to play Athens we were going to have a win just by showing up, but man, and they've come back and really fielding a strong team this year.
Yeah, I've never felt that way about Athens. I grew up, you know, seeing some of the great Athens teams in the 70s, and man, they got just unbelievable tradition, and man, you know, the history of the Cullman Athens series is just really storied, really, and a lot of the teams that we have posted up on down on our in our complex, there's a lot of scores of Athens Cullman games over the years, and man, everybody knew that they would be really good this year, and you know, I knew that was one of the teams that we'd have to try to compete with to make it in the playoffs, and man, they haven't disappointed. I mean, they are rolling. They're huge up front. They got incredible skill guys. You know, the coaching is some of the best in North Alabama, and you know, that just it's going to take everything we've got. I mean, we've got to be recovered and rested, but still get our work in this week to even have a chance. And,
yeah, we go back to the TVC with Cullman, Decatur, and Athens, and some of the best teams that's ever been in the state of Alabama really had some remarkable games back then, but you know, you just got to keep working and getting better and getting stronger and be able to take control. I know you had another JV game last night.
Yeah, yeah.
We're really doing well there, so we hope.
Well, our 9th grade beat Huntsville, you know, another 7A team, and man, that was it was an exciting game. You know, caught the second half of that game, and we came up a little bit short in our JV game against Jasper. There, you know, again, Coach Moore does such a great job there, and you know, we've some of the younger guys are now playing on the varsity, and that's kind of hurt our JV a little bit as far as, but you know, it gives kids other opportunities to play, and you know, we're getting everybody in the games, and they played hard, and you know, but it's like I said, it's hot, it's football season, and I think the great thing about football, you know, as far as a life, you know, how it teaches life lessons is that it doesn't matter how disappointed you may be on Friday or how triumphant feeling you are, you have to come back on Monday and go back to work. Right. And it's just, you know, nothing can faze you. And you put so much into a football game. You know, the whole week is dedicated to this one event at 7 o'clock. You put your heart and soul into it, and sometimes it's disappointing. But you know what? You got to wake up the next day, and you got to go back to work. And that's the way it is for all of us in this life. You know, no matter what kind of great things have happened or what kind of tragic things. I mean, we have to go back to work the next day.
We're going to hit stumbling blocks like that running back out of the backfield in life, but you just got to get up and go after him next time. But
that's right.
We'd certainly encourage everybody to make the trip up 65 to Athens. Great place to play. It's always been a fun place to visit, and always a great game you can expect up there, and they've got their program turned around and going strong, and I know you'll have your guys ready to get on the field with them.
Well, we're about to go to work here in a few minutes.
All right. This is the Cullman Football Review, brought to you by Bill Smith GMC in Buick, Citizens Bank and Trust, Cullman Power Board, and Target Pest Control. And we'll be back with another interview after a short commercial break.
Of the many forces of nature that threaten our homes, one of the most menacing strikes without warning. Sound or fury. They're termites, and they cause billions in damage homeowners insurance won't cover. Fortunately, Termador protects before termites become a problem, because there's no forecasting when termites will strike.
Call Target Pest Control for a free termite inspection of your home. We aim to please.
First 6-function multi-pro tailgate, available only on the next generation GMC Sierra.
At Citizens Bank and Trust, your security is our top priority. Online statements eliminate the risk of your financial information getting lost in the mail. The statement can be viewed online at home or on the go, and you'll receive your statements faster each month. Plus, signing up is easy. At Citizens Bank and Trust, your security is our priority. Citizens Bank and Trust. Small bank, big difference. Member FDIC. Third-party fees for internet messaging and data may apply.
And welcome back to the Cullman Football Review. I'm here with Coach Dean. And we're going to be talking a little cross country, which I can tell you the cross country season being so hot has not been fun either this year.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of adversity. But, you know, just like y'all were talking about a little bit earlier, you know, there's always going to be circumstances. And just recently I've kind of been studying a little bit in Navy SEALs sniper program, and they talk about circumstances are never optimal. So you don't expect them. But the expectation is actually to strive for perfection. So you know, we have a practice schedule that puts us in the heat some, keeps us out of it, but it's really not something we talk about. You know, from a philosophy standpoint, we don't deal in circumstances. Yeah, we're a very vision-oriented program. So if we show up and we race at 10 a.m. on Saturday and it's hot, it's hot.
Right.
We don't think about it.
All right, give us viewers a little background on yourself and where you came from and what brought you to Cullman.
Well, let's see. I went to high school in Decatur. Did not actually run distance.
Okay.
I was all-state in baseball and football, and went into college at the University of Alabama and played football there. And it wasn't until after college that I found my way into kind of endurance athletics and kind of through triathlon. And then when I got into education, there was an opportunity.
You never know what curves life will throw at you.
School, and Dr. Elton Bolden said he needed a head cross-country and track and field coach. And I mean, I loved running at that point. I loved endurance sports. So I said, yeah, absolutely. And I was excited to do it. And I took it on just like anything else. I need to learn. I need to get better. I need to figure out how to coach, because there's a lot of art to coaching, and just trying to strive to get better each year at it.
Well, I know cross country has had a tremendous program here, and a number of state championships and another of all-state athletes, and going back to Coach Calvert's and our trips every fall up to Mentone to Cowboy Camp to get them in shape, and the running that they did back then, and the tradition hadn't changed over the years.
No, I mean, when I came in, getting to know William Calvert in the summer at Step Ahead Camp, Eric Fillinger is another person. I really just kind of looked to them as mentors and as avenues to learn more about the sport and how to coach the sport. And one of the most difficult things was learning how to coach girls as well as boys. And so I really leaned on them, and I wanted to get the program back to a championship program, you know, like Coach Calvert and even Coach Drake, who brought home a red map himself. And so that was one of my it really drove me. And now at this point, we've had a lot of success, and I want to make them proud by continuing to push the program to higher heights.
Well, tell me a little about your girls' team, and they've been right up there at the top of every meet you've been in, and some of the outstanding athletes you got there.
Yeah, and if you come way back, I'd say Coach Eric Fillinger has called it, we used to have a princess program. Yeah, a princess, and it's about participation. So really changing their mindset and cultivating a championship program has been a challenge. But this group of girls has definitely come along much further than any group before. And at this point, I mean, they've won 3 out of 4 meet titles. They're really starting to cultivate a mentality where it's not like they show up and they hope to be successful or hope to win, but they're starting to learn to have a dominant type of expectation. And they are very capable. There's a few things that they're trying to figure out individually and as a team, but man, when they put it together, it's going to be something special. So.
And what people don't understand about cross country, it doesn't matter how good your top runner is, you got to have 3 in behind to really score and to win tournaments.
Absolutely. We got to get up in the front. We have people that need to set the tone. But like you said, that 4, that 5, that 6, you know, the pack, that's what's going to determine whether we win a championship or we finish 5th.
And I remember the Troy State meet years ago. We had a girl that fell in some sand. You couldn't touch her, couldn't help her up, but you just had to make sure she got up and finished, because she was that 4th girl that made a difference in the standing that year.
Absolutely. And it's one of the beautiful things of this, because the team dynamic, you know, the one up there is obviously has no idea what's going on with the 5. You know, they're trusting that the 5 is putting everything into executing, and then when they finish the race and they come back and they're encouraging, and the 5 the whole time is thinking about the 1, the 2, the 3, the 4. So when they bring it all together and they execute for each other selflessly, and they end up accomplishing what they had kind of set out in their mind, it's just such a special thing, because it's not something you can do alone.
Okay, well, tell me a little bit about your boys' team this year and how they're doing so far.
Now, on the boys' side, you know, we've had a lot of success for a much longer time. So we've had some individuals that are well known across the state. You know, one of those being Will Thompson, who's already broke the school record this year, running 15:33.5, and is getting attention from schools like University of Alabama and UAH and AUM and some other schools. But then as a team, we have some less experienced people in the back, you know, particularly our 4, 5, 6. and helping them kind of figure out some of these, execution things in the race is going to basically determine what type of team we end up becoming.
Really?
They've had a lot of success in the smaller, more intimate races like the Bearcat 2 Mile and the Kudzu Hills, winning both of those meets. But because of our top-level talent, we've gone into Chickasaw and the Huntsville Southern Showcase, and we've raced in the championship division with teams all across the southeast United States. And that's made it difficult for some of our pack running elements. But every race where they've made some mistakes or, we failed to execute in a certain portion of the race, they've learned what we needed to learn, come back into the training, and they're executing really well. So it shows me and it shows them they have all the tools to put it together, but we just got to continue to take these steps each week so that when we get to November 9th, they're confident, they've already put it together, and they just know they need to go out there and do it.
And one good thing about our location, we'll be comfortable with the state course over at Jesse Owens, and that's a fun place to run a state championship, and it certainly beats having to go to South Alabama to Troy where they had the state so many years. But how do you get prepared for the state?
Well, the way we kind of do it in scheduling, and of course we could answer this question from several different ways, but we go there early in the year at Chickasaw, and we have our race plan as far as a team and individual, and we execute the plan to the best of our ability, all the while knowing that we're going to come back here at Jesse Owens on the same course, look at what we did last time, focus on improving our execution, knowing that, hey, when we come back November 9th, it's time.
And you talk about a race plan. If you've never ran cross country, you got to know the course. You got to know when to pace yourself. You got to know where the hills are and where you need to back off a little bit and where you can really make some headway against some of those runners in front of you. But it is a head game that you've got to get in, and when that pain starts kicking in, you got to put that aside and be able to run your race.
Absolutely. And there's some things culturally that play into that. We build a selfless team culture so that when the pain comes, the suffering comes, we don't think about ourselves. We think about our teammates. And then the other element of that, and you heard me mention it earlier, some of the young guys have some things they have to figure out. And, and that is part of racing because, man, the mind, like if you tell yourself, I can't do this or, then obviously you're not going to be able to do it. So some of it is just the mentality and making sure that's right. And then some of it is when you get into the pain and discomfort of racing, all right, where's my conditioning? Is my mind going to go on the wrong things or the right things? And then that'll determine what actually happens. So there's a lot that goes into it. It's not as simple as it may seem.
And we've got a strong running culture here in Cullman and Cullman County. You got Cold Springs who have been up to the top in their divisions, and St. Bernard, and they got a great course out at St. Bernard that Coach Calvert sort of developed. But there is a mindset with cross country here in Cullman, and I know you're really building a program and doing a great job.
Yeah, we definitely are trying to make our school and this community proud, and when we do look out and see the success of other programs, it does drive us, it motivates us for sure.
Well, we certainly appreciate you coming in, but this is Coach Dean with the cross country, and it's sort of hard to be a spectator, but over at Jesse Owens, you can get some vantage points where you can really see some great events. I'll never forget finishing at Troy when we had the top runner in the state, and Dwayne Ricketts ran the last 100 yards with him and was jumping every jump. So there's some excitement in cross country, and we hope everybody catches the fever.
Yes, sir.
All right. Well,
Thanks
this is the Cullman Football Review, and we'll see you next Tuesday night with another exciting rendition of the Cullman Athens. But we'll see you then.